Hello everyone, this is Shubham and welcome to our API tutorial. So in the last few lecture, we have discussed about Cypress. So we have prepared a pack where you can, if you're a beginner, you can always go ahead and look at the playlist and you can always learn about the Cypress basic, and it is kind of a beginners to advanced. And as we're gonna move forward, we're gonna keep on adding multiple videos and multiple instructions or multiple lectures in that particular playlist. And simultaneously, if you've seen, we have been covering UiPath tutorial as well. So as we all know, that is all about the front end. That is what we have discussed till now, right? Front end, the things we can see. Okay. Now today we will start with API tutorial. Okay. So what is the API? If you're gonna go and Google it out, it would always say that API is gonna be application programming interface, right? But with that word, are you understanding anything? Nothing, right? So I will explain you the best way how can you relate with application programming interfaces, as we call it API. So suppose let's draw something. Suppose you want to book a flight, right? And you're trying to book a flight, and you can do it with two manner. One manner, what is gonna be? You can directly suppose you want to book a Indigo flight. You're gonna go. Okay, so I'm not able to make anything. I'm not able to draw. Let me draw. Try drawing something. Okay. So suppose this is a you're trying to book a Indigo flight, and you're gonna go to the Indigo website and you're gonna and punch in your all the details. When you try to punch in all the details, you are a client that time. You are an end user using their application, trying to retrieve some requests or retrieve some data. What data you're trying to retrieve? You're trying to, by sending a request for booking a ticket, you're trying to expect a response which is gonna be your ticket confirmation, right? So in the client side, you are entering your all the details. Now when the details has been entered, it's gonna go to the backend. Somewhere there should be a backend. In the backend, it is gonna check your request whether there can be a method. Method could be like booking ticket. Okay, so that booking ticket is gonna get invoked, and that is gonna go to backend and will check for the date and for the time you're trying to book the ticket whether the seats are available or not. If it is available, then it's gonna go back, the method execution will be completed, and you will get a response stating that your ticket has been successful, right? Now this backend code, okay, this backend code is the key, right? This has been having the method of booking the ticket, which has been getting the data from backend where the ticket availability is not is there or not, and when it is there, then it is booking the ticket and sending you the confirmation that your ticket has been booked for this particular day. So always when you are this is gonna be your client, and this is gonna be your server response. Server, what it is trying to say over there, right? What is it is trying to communicate and taking the request and generating the response after getting the confirmation from backend. Now, if you don't want to go on Indigo and you want to go to Yatra or Make My Trip, and you can always go and book the ticket from there, right? So when you're gonna go over there, I'll show you, or rather showing you, you people already have known it. So when you're trying to go and Make My Trip or Yatra, from there, if you're trying to book an Indigo flight, what is gonna happen? So in Yatra portal, when you gonna punch in your details, that is gonna go and ask for the request from again the backend. But Indigo is not gonna expose this API, right? Indigo is not gonna, sorry, not API. Indigo is not gonna expose this backend to some any random website just because they are helping Indigo out to book their lot of tickets. It's not gonna help you. It's not gonna expose this backend code and whatever it has been written to each and every platform, whether it be Yatra, Make My Trip, Go I Go, right? Here comes the API. So what API does? So if it is okay, if it is in the like client is gonna be the front end is gonna be the same from the same customer or from the same client. The back end is gonna be for the same product, and the data database is also from the same product. Then it's not a difficult task to generate a request got to the method execution, find the like backend whether that request can be fulfilled or not, and generate the response towards and give the confirmation to user. But if somebody else is trying to do the same thing, some other website or some other app is trying to do the same thing, it has to communicate with the backend of that particular website, right? To what product you are trying to purchase or what product you are trying to buy in from that particular website's backend. For that, API comes into the picture. So API is nothing but a protocol. Okay, I might be wrong. I might be. So it's a represent. So there are multiple type of APIs. First of all, so API, when you say application programming interface, it is based on some architecture format which is not related to any language. So what it's gonna do? It's gonna be your hub or gateway. Okay, so hub and gateway is gonna use HTTP protocol, and this HTTP protocol is not written in any kind of language, which is require what? Which is require any kind of access. So doing this, when Indigo is when you're gonna go to directly Indigo and trying to book the ticket, there won't be any hub or gateway. There can be, but there's not required because Indigo is exposing its code to uh, Indigo's front end only. But Make My Trip, when is gonna do that, there would be a API or hub or gateway in between. I know this is gonna be very messy, so I will try to go over here and I'll show you. So suppose, okay, let me try drawing it again. So suppose this is gonna be Make My Trip. Make My Trip user punching is details. When so now request is gonna get generated in HTTP and there would be a API or hub or gateway in between which deals in HTTP protocol, and then it's gonna take your request and it's gonna go to the backend, and then it will do all the same things. Now backend will take this HTTP format, HTTP protocol request, and it will try, okay, whether the ticket can be booked or not. Or it will go and check in the database whether on that particular day the confirmation can be given to this particular user or not. And if response comes in whatever status code, we will discuss about the status code as well. Then it will say, okay, this method has been successful. We have this confirmation, and it will generate a response file. The response file will come from here, go to your API gateway, and directly will be transferred to Make My Trip or Yatra, any third party website. So this is what is the role of API. This is one kind of role. Another kind of role is also API have. That is what I'll tell you. Suppose there are some application which has been built around 20 years back or 10 years back or 5 years back. Now IT world is keep on changing, right? You must have seen there is a lot of UI is being built on Angular or React framework using JavaScript or TypeScript language, right? So that is about front end. What if, but backend, for backend, Java is again the primary language till now or till today. So now there cannot be two different language for the front end and back end, and you can expect them to communicate with the data in and out, right? As a client and server way. So for that also API or gateway or hub works in a wonder charm, where that does not have any kind of language, right? That is kind of a protocol that uses HTTP protocol, and it migrates the request and response from client to server, right? So take a request from client and go to the response, verify it whether it can be done, and then get it transferred to client with the confirmation with the status code, if it is true or not, right? Or if it is successful or not. So there are two way, there are these two major things where API brings wonder, and that is why we say API is kind of interface which provides the application to communicate in and out, right, with the data, with client and server, between client and server, and to tell you, okay, what is gonna be the SLA, what is gonna be the speed of that particular API, right? So there are a lot of things we're going to discuss about API. So I just wanted to tell you, okay,